There really is a lot of convincing evidence that Covididiots are really dumb. Hi, I'm Scoot. Welcome to the Scoot on the O YouTube channel. I hope you have become a subscriber. And again, I want to welcome those of you who are new subscribers to the channel. Thank you very much. It's free, and when you subscribe, we give you a notice every time we do something new. First of all, let's define Covidiot. Defined by the Urban Dictionary, Covidiot is someone who ignores the warnings regarding public health and safety. So, Covidiots include people who have decided that they don't want to take the vaccine because they're concerned about what's in it, but they will take horse and cow deworming medicine to protect them from COVID. The medication is ivermectin. And I even had a vet, Dr. Allison, a horse vet, called my radio show today on WWL. And she said, "This is dangerous shit." She said, "You can't take this." And some people are taking like more than they should, and this can seriously like damage your body. So the FDA is having to remind people what species they are. The FDA is reminding people, quote, "You are not a horse." I mean, this is really dumb. You're not a horse. Don't take this medication. And isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing that there are people who are like, they don't want to take the vaccine because they're afraid of what's in it, but they take a horse deworming medicine because it's something that just kind of hit social media and they picked up on it. Really dumb. Don't take ivermectin. So something else that indicates that Covidiots are dying because they're Covidiots is the people who just believe the total bullshit. The Fox News channel has come up with a conspiracy theory as to why the third booster is being offered. Fox News says the third booster is being offered to distract Americans from what's going on in Afghanistan. And we know what's going on there is terrible. And it's a black eye on the Biden administration. This was not handled properly. It's a mess. Seems like it could have been handled better. So here's what Rachel Campos-Duffy said on the Fox News channel. The White House was busy making headlines this week, but not about our Afghanistan response. The president instead announcing that he will give a booster shot and mandating the vaccine for nursing home staff. But this is just an attempt to distract the American people away from the Afghanistan crisis. The administration has spoken as much about Afghanistan as it has about COVID. All right, look, here's why this is ridiculous because because the talk of a booster shot came up months and months before the Afghanistan departure and that big travesty. So what's scary is there are people who are going to believe this shit. I mean, there are people going, just because they heard it from Fox News, they'll believe it. And so these are the Covidiots that stand the chance of dying because they're dumb. I don't know how else to say it. But if you believe that, and I'm not defending the administration for the departure from Afghanistan. I've talked about this on my radio show. It's not good. But the COVID booster is not a distraction from that, because there was talk about a booster long before that even happened. But this is typical. See, it's never about the truth. This is about freaking entertainment. And Fox News is trying to entertain its audience. They don't give a damn about the truth. So they're doing everything to focus everything on Afghanistan and the southern border here in the United States. That's the goal. And anybody that believes that the booster shot is nothing more than a distraction from the Afghanistan departure is a Covidiot. And I remind you, Covididiots are dying. You know, people have talked about their loved ones who have died from COVID-19. And I will ask you again, where are the stories about the people whose loved ones have died who have said, gee, my husband's dead. I'm sure glad he didn't get the vaccine. Where are those stories? They don't exist because people are not saying that. And there's a case here in New Orleans where a man who was he was an RTA bus driver. It was his dream job. He'd been a bus driver for 4 years. Brian Jackson, 54 years old. Brian met his wife, Monique, when Brian was a football player in junior high school, and Monique was a cheerleader. And this couple's still together. Really, really great story. Brian refused to take the vaccine. Monique, his wife, in tears, is saying, I really have to learn to live my life without my better half. He was adamant about not taking the vaccine. He's the fourth person to die that works for RTA. I think he got sick July the 5th, and he was dead by August the 10th. She said the last conversation I had with him was, he said, I love you. I'll talk to you later. She said later never came. She also said, and she was in tears when she said this, I urge everyone who has not gotten the vaccine to just put some serious thought into getting it. Because I wish I could have wrapped Brian up and taken him and made him get the vaccine, and he would still be with me here today. So there you have it. Another grieving family member, grieving because somebody didn't get the vaccine. What is it that you need to know about the vaccine in order to convince you to get it? Now, at the Saints game, the Monday night game against the Jacksonville Jags, it was on ESPN. Some of you may have seen that. I saw the first half of the game and then came home. It was great being back in the dome. I mean, I wore a mask the whole time. But they were offering shots, vaccinations to anybody who wanted them. And I don't know what the total number is, but I don't think that many people showed up for the shots. If you got a shot, you got to go in the dome. Because the new rules in effect here in New Orleans were that you had to prove that you're fully vaccinated, or you had to have a recent COVID test showing that you're negative. And it was the PCR test, not just the rapid test, but the PCR test. You had to prove that you were negative within the last 72 hours. But somebody could just walk up and get a shot and go in the dome. Now, they're not fully protected. They're not protecting us. They're not protecting themselves because you get the first shot. Look, I'm glad they did it. I'm not critical of offering the shots to get people in the dome. But, as somebody who's fully vaccinated who tries to be careful, I wore a mask the whole time. And I'm okay with that. And people around me were wearing masks. The dome wasn't full, but it was the first game back since 2019, since that season. So it was great. It was, it was just nice to see the activity of people in the dome and walking the corridors and at the concession stands and just, doing what we do. And if more people got vaccinated, we'd be able to even do more stuff. So, and again, I think about the arrogance of conservative talk show host Phil Valentine, Phil Valentine was on his radio show telling people how the vaccine is no good. He was an anti-vaxxer. Don't get the vaccine. Phil Valentine's dead. You think he wishes he got it? Whether he's looking down on us or looking up. You think he's glad he didn't get the shot? You think his family's glad he didn't get the shot? So, again, enough of this bullshit of just like people trying to feed an audience information that entertains them. This is serious stuff. Get the vaccine. Don't be a Covidiot. And don't be a mask hole. Wear your mask. What's the big deal? Thank you for joining me on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. Sometime soon we're going to be talking about something other than COVID. It's just that there's been a lot of this to talk about. And I think it's important to call out the Covididiots because they're hurting the rest of us. And don't believe any of that bullshit about, it's all coming from the border with Mexico, because it's not. There may be a problem there. Looks like there is. I mean, too many people are coming over, period. But obviously some people are coming over who are COVID positive. Well, we got to do something about that. We got to stop that. But that's not why we're in this fourth surge. Legal Americans not getting the vaccine, not masking up. That's why we're going through this again. And I think we need to call out those people. Again, thanks for joining me here. I hope you have become a subscriber. And if you haven't, please subscribe. It's free, and we'll give you a notice every time we do something live. And you can go back and look at some of the titles of some of the things that I've done here, and you get a pretty good idea of, the direction that we're heading in. And this is a new channel, and we're doing the best we can to ramp up building it. It's a great extension for my radio talk show on WWL in New Orleans. And I'll be on WWL tomorrow afternoon and Monday through Friday from 1 to 4 Central Time.